I think it's fair to say that the mainstream media would either ignore alternative interpretations of data or policy responses, or they turn around and attack people who put a different proposition.
Yes.
So in my country, all the emphasis from particularly the left of centre of media was on the need to confront the dangers of this and go for powerful lockdowns. Very little discussion around the impact on young people, the economic impact, and indeed the mental health impact, let alone the medical implications of the lockdowns and their value.
It has been a debate characterised by a very high degree of fanaticism. My definition of a fanatic is that somebody who's only got room for one idea in his head at a time. And the main problem, there are many problems, but the main one about lockdowns and about the advocates of lockdowns is a refusal to examine the collateral consequences. Those consequences fall partly under the heading of health policy itself. The lockdowns have been disastrous in areas other than COVID. They have had a very unfortunate effect in increasing the death toll from undiagnosed or untreated cancers, from dementia, which in the UK has for many years been the biggest single killer. It has reduced the exposure of particularly young people to pathogens and to health problems for which they have traditionally acquired in the course of their daily life a high degree of immunity. At the moment, in many countries, including this one, we have an outbreak of unexpected outbreak of hepatitis illness in children. One theory, a plausible theory, is that, which has been adopted recently by the head of our health service, is that this has been the result of children being locked in their homes and not having acquired a degree of basic immunity. If you interfere with a mechanism which has been basic to human experience for as long as human beings exist, you must expect a large number of unexpected side effects. And that's the unexpected ones. There are expected ones too. We are, as human beings, social animals. Everything that we do, everything that we create, is done by virtue of our interaction with each other. To criminalize social interaction between human beings is, as it seems to me, a profoundly wicked thing to do. The people who do this are not profoundly wicked people, but it's a profoundly wicked thing that they are doing. There is a debate about how effective it is even in suppressing COVID. It is absolutely clear that it is disastrous in other health fields like mental health, cancer, heart disease, and so on. And that is before one comes to think of the collateral consequences outside the domain of public health, particularly the economic ones. No society in history ever made itself healthier by making itself poorer. But that is what the collective wisdom of the world, both despotisms and democracies, has imposed upon us in the last 2 years. It is, I think, a collective folly induced by fear, some of which was spontaneous, but some of which was attributable to the actions of governments. In this country, the government refused to make use of the most significant fact about COVID, which is that it is a disease which attacks people indiscriminately but causes serious illness only in certain categories. It had to justify this by presenting wholly abnormal instances of young people without underlying health issues who died of COVID as if they were the norm, when in fact they were exceptionally rare. The broadcast media felt duty-bound to follow the government line about this. I think the first requirement in any major health crisis is a requirement for balanced opinion expressed in reasonable and calm and informative terms by public authorities. That is something which we did not have in this country. And judging by media reports, you had even less of it in Australia.